Today I'm going to show you 4 different ways to collect subscription payments in WordPress. Now, why 4 different ways? Because 4 different ways apply to 4 different scenarios. So with every solution, I'm going to give you the scenario where it's most applicable. So make sure to jump around using the timestamps to figure out which is the best solution for you to apply on your website. Let's start with the first one, which is using WP Simple Pay. This is the solution I would recommend if you don't want to mess around with a shopping cart, you don't have e-commerce functionality, and you just want to collect payments and especially recurring payments. So if you're, let's say, offering a lawn care service and you don't want to deal with the hassle of setting up a shopping cart or something, and then you can just want to collect payments on a recurring basis and just have a simple form built on your site, this is the perfect solution for you. So let me demonstrate how easy it is to get started with WP Simple Pay. So as I mentioned, we'll be using WP Simple Pay. It's the #1 Stripe payments plugin for WordPress. Now, the benefit of using WP Simple Pay, as I already mentioned, that you don't have to set up a shopping cart or don't even need e-commerce functionality on a site. Even if you have a regular website, you can integrate WP Simple Pay. So all you have to do is go and make a purchase for WP Simple Pay. It's a very inexpensive plugin and it has great functionality. You can use it to collect payments from Stripe and all the different platforms, and you can use it for recurring payments and one-off payments as well. So you're not limited to recurring payments. You can have recurring payments or single payments as well. So I already have the plugin downloaded. What you'll have to do is go click this button, make a purchase, and you'll get a zip file on your computer with the license key, using which you will install with me the plugin on your site and also configure it. So this is my website which I'll be working it. So what you have to do is go to the plugin section, go to the install plugins, or directly jump into the add a new plugin section. And this will open up the option of uploading a plugin here. So if I go here, I can click this button here, and this will open up this option. So all I have to do is just make sure to select the zip file from my computer, which you can download it from your account here. So I'll drag and drop that zip file here. You can see it here, WP Simple Pay. This is a zip file. So just click install now and it'll install WP Simple Pay on the website. So the plugin is installed. That's also activate the plugin by clicking here. So as soon as you activate the plugin, WP Simple Pay will trigger the setup wizard. Let's go through the process to simply quickly set up WP Simple Pay on our website. So I'll click this button here. And first step is we have to activate the plugin using a license key. I already have it copied on the clipboard. And if you don't know where, you can just log into your account. You'll have a section for license key where you can copy and save your license key if you want on your computer, or you can just keep it in the account. So I'm just going to paste it here, and I'm going to blur out the license key for obvious reasons. And I'm going to click activate and continue. And now we'll connect with Stripe. Now, if you don't have a Stripe account will be created for you if you enter your email address. I already have a Stripe account, which is in test mode just for this video. So I'll just connect with Stripe and automatically be logged in. So if you don't have a Stripe account, don't worry, just click the same button and you'll create a Stripe account in the next step. My process will look a little different because I already have an account, and it's also I'm already logged into my Stripe account on this browser. So it might look different for you, but the process is exactly the same. So I'll click here. So now we can connect our website using WP Simple Pay to our Stripe account. And as I told you, I already have a Stripe account. You can see it here. I can click the connect button, but I'm not going to, because ultimately Stripe requires you to connect a bank account for you to actually connect with an account or create the complete process. Now, this is just a test account. I don't actually use it. So basically this account is just created as a test. So if I click connect, it'll ask me to create or connect a bank account, which I don't have. So in this case, the account processing or the activation for the Stripe account with WP Simple Pay will fail. So what I would recommend, or what I will do in this case, is skip this form so that the activation can complete. But what you should be doing is clicking connect, and just next few steps is connecting a bank account and a couple of additional procedures, and you'll have your Stripe account connected with your website using WP Simple Pay. So I'm going to just skip this form, which will make or bring me back to my website and connect my Stripe account. But you should be using the connect and just going through the next steps. And if you don't have an account, you can always create a new account. Okay, so I'm going to click skip this form, and it'll take me back to my website, and you'll see that the Stripe account is connected. It'll take me to settings to demonstrate or show that the Stripe account is connected. So let's wait for that to finish. So you can see that I am inside the settings now. You can see the connection status with Stripe is now complete. I am the administrator. It's a test account and some keys that I'll blur out. And right now I'm in test mode. That means I'm just testing it out. Once your creation process will begin. And this is the option where we collect or we use templates. So templates are predefined forms that you can directly use, or you can create from scratch. Both work. So in this case, what I'm going to just do is try and figure out if I can do a recurring form. So we have a lot of recurring forms already, recurring services with setup fee, recurring service with trial period. What I'm going to just do is select the most basic payment form. So I can actually demonstrate that it's not difficult to actually create a form if you want to, with or without recurring payments. I'm going to click use template here, and this will bring us to the form builder. Inside the form builder, we have a lot of different settings, but they're very, very easy to understand. So first thing what we'll do is we'll change the title, and the title is only internal use, so you users or customers won't see it. So I'll just say, let's say lawn care service, hypothetical service that we're providing. Then description is collect credit card payments. You can add the description here, and the type is on-site payment form. On-site, I recommend you keep it on-site. And then if you want to configure captcha protection or spam protection, then you can enable this. And there's email verification as well, so we have this enabled. Now this is where we don't have to do anything in the general settings. Next, we'll head to the payment settings. And payment settings, this is where we have a lot of different settings to make sure that we are doing correctly. First is the payment mode, and right now it's set to global settings, which is test. But if you want to test out a couple of forms after you made everything correctly in live mode, you can change this. You might need to change your API keys or go into your Stripe account and disable test mode as well. You can see here I'm in test mode. So you'll need to have Stripe also in active mode, or as a live mode, and also WP Simple Pay. Then we have tax collection. So if you want to collect taxes, you can fix tax, automatically calculate it depending on location. You can configure here. Then you have purchase mode. That means you can add different products and different pricing. But the simple thing that what you want to understand is here. You can add a price that you want to add to the purchase that you're making and configure if it is a one-time or a subscription fee. So if let's say I want to charge $100 or $99 every month for, let's say, someone's lawn care, I can go here. I can say $99 and I can make it a subscription. And I also can change the currency. So depending on which location you are in, you can change the currency as well. And if you want to make this a kind of a donation, a weekly, monthly donation, you can just ask the amount to be determined by the user and then use that option as well. And then you can also configure some additional options if you want to. So billing period is, hey, the default billing is customers will be billed every single month. But if you, let's say, do 15 days billing, you can configure it here. You also have installment plans and invoice payments. Lot of different options. And a couple of interesting things that you can utilize and should know is that if you want to offer a free trial and if you want to offer a setup fee. So for example, let's say you start at a healthcare gym and a healthcare gym says, hey, we are $200 a month, but you get the first 15 days for free. So we do 15 days, and instead of billing you every month, they bill you every 15 days. So it's every 15 days, something like this. And they say we charge a $49 setup fee. So this is how it will be configured. So billing every 15 days, free trial for 15 days, $49 setup fee, and of course the subscription is $99. So $99 per 2 weeks, right? Let me just double check. Yes, $99 per 15 days basically. So $99 every 2 weeks, every 15 days basically, $49 setup fee, and also basically a free trial of 15 days. So this is how easy it is to set up even the most complex offers if you want to configure this less way. And then you have payment methods. So you have a lot of different payment methods that you can use and customize. We have card, we have direct debit, Cash App. So right now the default is set to only card with Stripe. But if you want to enable other options, you can enable them and you can reorder them. So let's say if Cash App is really popular, you can enable Cash App and just drag it up like this, or just drag it up like this. So it's completely up to you how you want to do this. So this is where we configured the payment options. So make sure to save your settings or publish it later. Let's go to the form fields, which is also very important. So once we go here, this is where we can configure what all fields will the form display. So right now the default options are email address and payment methods, and there's a checkout button which you can't change or at least can't delete. But you have a lot of different fields you can add. For example, you might want to collect phone numbers, names, email address. Email address is already here, or the address actually. So what you can do is go here and figure out what all fields you want to capture and just add them to the form. So name, add it here, and it's here. And then let's say we also want to capture customer's phone number. So we'll add the phone number. And then let's say we want to also have the address. Let me find the address here. Okay, we can do a heading or something like that. But the idea is you have a lot of different options here and you can add these here. And for the pricing as well, you have a lot of different options. So you can have a coupon, a custom adjustment issues, or not issues, but inputs, and payment methods and amount breakdowns. And you can configure the form to your heart's desire. You can also customize the order in which it appears. So let's say I'm going to capture the name first, then the email address, then the phone number, then I want to display payment methods, and then the checkout button. You can completely customize it here. So I'm not giving you a 1-hour demonstration, but you can simply understand that this is not very complex to do, even if you're not an expert in WordPress. So once you're happy with the form fields, we can head to the purchase restrictions. Then you can also say hide the payment form after a set number of payments. So if let's say you're raising money for a fundraiser and you say, hey, I just want 100 donations for this month, you can do this. And you can have scheduling as well. So let's say you open the fundraising on the 1st of, let's say, December, you can schedule the form to start and close at a certain date as well. So those options also exist inside WP Simple Pay. The next thing what you have to do is go to the payment page. And again, you can enable this. This is a feature. You don't have to use it, but if you want to create a dedicated page just for the payment, you can enable this. You also have a confirmation page. So by default, the settings or the default settings are good enough for you. But what you have to do or what you can do is if you want to redirect users to a particular page after they've made the payment, you can do that. External URL, you can just say custom page, you can configure this on a global level, and you can change basically the messaging that people see, the color scheme, and everything else. So basically the idea is that once somebody has made the payment, what is their experience going to be like? You can completely customize it directly here. You can also set up email notifications right here. So if you want to send email confirmations to people who have made the payments, everything is available here. And also automations. So you connect with Uncanny Automator and then connect with any other service you like. Now, since this is about not setting up a shopping cart and keeping it simple, the most important thing you have to configure is go to general settings, maybe set up a title so that you remember why you created this, and then go to the payments, connect, or I'd say configure the right payment options and the form fields. Rest already is done for you. So the first 3 are the most important things you have to configure. Rest are optional. I just wanted to highlight that these features exist. So once you're happy with this, just click the publish button and your form is ready. Now you might be thinking that the form is ready, but where do I see it? Well, that's what we're getting to. So once you have actually created a form, what we can do or what you should do is using this shortcode. Now, shortcodes, if you don't know WordPress, then shortcodes are simply an easy way to configure or add things to a page. So you can see here the simple pay ID form shortcode. You don't have to remember it. Just click the copy shortcode button, and this is now on your clipboard. So let's say you have a page on your site where you're describing what kind of service you provide, or let's say you're collecting donations or you're raising money, anything. So let's pretend that we are on that page. I'll create a new post just for that example. And let's say I'm raising money to help some street dogs with, let's say, food and shelter. So I'll say support the dogs. Let's say this is the page. And using the WordPress block builder, we can create the entire page, add images, everything else. And whenever we want to add the form, all we have to do is, let's pretend that first I'll add a spacer block or separator block. So now we have a separator. And let's say somewhere around here, once we add some content, now we want to add the form. So all you have to do is either type the / key or click this button or even click this button to open the blocks menu. I'll just click here. And inside the blocks, you have to search for shortcode. So if I type this in, you can see shortcode. And this block allows us to type in shortcodes that we just copied so that the content in the shortcode can be embedded on the post. Don't worry, you just have to press Ctrl V, Command V, and now you're done. So once you do this, now the shortcode is added to the site. So what happens? You don't see the form here. Don't worry. This is the, let's say, the block builder view. You have to see the final view to see it. So we'll click the publish button and this will publish the page. And the page should be published any second. And now we can open this post up in a new tab. And don't worry, or do remember that this can be any page or post on your site. It doesn't have to be a particular page. And even shortcodes are supported as in the footers, in sidebars. So anywhere on the site, you can add this. And now you can see here, when I open the site up, you can see support the dogs. You can see the email address. You can see the lawn care services name of the form name is lawn care service. I should have changed it to support the dogs, but you see it here. So a lawn care service, a description, you can enter your name, email address, phone number, enter the card number, and this should work. So right now, because this is I don't have the credit card payment information. Otherwise, I could have made the test payment. But if I remember correctly, let me try it out if it works. I believe the test card number is always something 4242. So let's test it out if it actually works. So a quick Google search did reveal that I was correct, that the card numbers has to be 424242, and then any date and CVC or as the security code should work. So let's go back to the site and we'll type it 42424242. Right, that's the card number, and we'll add, let's say, a date for 2027, and let's do 45. Obviously, this is a dummy card number, and we have the optional save your info. We don't want to do this, so we'll just start trial. And since this is test account, the purchase should go through, but it's not an actual purchase. It's just a trial. All right, so you can see that this test account works flawlessly. We filled out the form, we clicked it, and we can see this is the confirmation page, which was default created, but we can completely customize this as well. Or you can even redirect people to a regular WordPress blog post as well. So lawn care service, collect credit card payments, thank you. Free trial has been activated and we'll charge $99 every 15 days. So all the information we configured in the payment options is actually showing up here. So this is pretty easy to set up. Everybody can do it. And even if you're not a developer or even if you're not a techie, you can actually set this up. So this is the first method to collect recurring payments in WordPress. Let me tell you about the second method. Let's talk about the second way to collect recurring payments in WordPress. And this solution is mostly oriented for people who are selling online memberships. So let's say a coaching program, a closed community, or a club, something like that. So we'll be using two different softwares. Of course, the first solution would be to sell the membership itself. That means you can have let's say if you're selling courses, then you want to have an LMS or learning management system. And if you want to have a community, then you need to have a profile and a discussion board, something like that. So all that functionality will be provided by MemberPress. And for payment collection, we'll be using Stripe again and connecting Stripe and MemberPress to collect recurring payments. So once again, MemberPress is the all-in-one membership plugin for WordPress. It's a fantastic piece of software. And you can see here, thousands of creators who have earned together over $1 billion in revenue. That's a billion with a B. So MemberPress is definitely very, very popular when it comes to coaching programs and online communities. So I already have purchased MemberPress. I have the pro version of MemberPress downloaded to my computer already with the license key. So what I'm going to be doing is just heading to my website. Once again, this is the website and I have disabled the previous plugins. So the WP Simply plugin. So right now it's again kind of a blank slate. So you can get started with this. So once again, I'm going to head to the plugin section. I'm going to click add new plugin. And here again, I'll upload the plugin for MemberPress. I have it here. So let me just drag and drop it here and I'll just install it here. So the plugin is activated or downloaded, installed. Let's activate it as well. So MemberPress is now installed on the site. We need to still activate it using the license key, and MemberPress will tell us to go to the setup wizard and set up MemberPress. Now, it is an extensive process to set up MemberPress, or not extensive, but yeah, easy process. But for the purpose of this video, that's not the intent. I'm not trying to show off MemberPress here. I'm trying to show off how the basic payment collections work. So what I'm going to be doing is just install and activate MemberPress first with using the license key and directly create a membership so that we can actually do it. So first I'll head to the settings inside MemberPress and I'll just activate the plugin using the license key. So I'll just press it here, paste it, activate it here. And you can see that my website is now activated. So now MemberPress is installed and activated using license key. And right here, you also see the option for payments. This is where we're going to set up payments on our site. So once we go here, we'll have to add a new payment method. So once I click here, we can actually see this menu here. And the default option is Stripe, or the payment gateway recommendation is Stripe. We'll be using Stripe. We just add the name Stripe here as a label as well. And what we can do is now, since we have the setup, basically you have to click this button, connect with Stripe. The process goes very simple or similar to the previous step where you have to just log in and do all this stuff. By the way, you also need to log into MemberPress. So let me just quickly log in on MemberPress website and proceed to the next step. So after logging to MemberPress's website, now we can see the same options here, which we saw in the previous example, which is to connect with your Stripe account. And once again, I just have a test account. I don't collect payments with Stripe. And I think Stripe is not even available in India now. So all I can do is basically show you show off a test account. I'll click the connect button here. And once again, we'll see the similar option, or as we saw last time, which is where, hey, you'll need to connect a bank account. Now, as I explained that my account on Stripe is just a test account. I don't actually collect payments with Stripe. So I cannot proceed with selecting a bank account because Indian banks are not even supported. And the last time, if you haven't watched that video, we had an option for skipping. So I just skipped that step and went back to the site. Now, in this case, that option is not available. So what do you do if you're just testing out, you just want to create a test account? What you can do is just click this button, return to MemberPress, and the options will open up. Now, if you're actually setting this up right now and you already are in a country which supports Stripe, then you can use the bank or search your bank or enter your bank details manually, and Stripe should start working. And if you don't have an account, you also are prompted to create a new Stripe account as well. What I'm going to do is just click here and return to memberpress.com because my Stripe account is just a test account. And once we're back, we'll see that Stripe is now connected basically. So it's a test account, so that works for us. We're just trying to demonstrate. Now, We have a MemberPress installed and activated, payment gateway also connected. So now what we have to do is create a membership. So we can create levels of membership. So we'll have to create a membership, then connect it to a payment, or I'd say a specific amount of payment and a recurring basis and everything like that. So what I'm going to do is head to the memberships area here. I'm going to click on it, and inside the memberships, I'll create a new membership. So we have some notifications. I'll close them for now. And yeah. So here we have options to add a new membership, which I'm going to select. And in the next step, we are going to see a lot of different options to name a membership, description. Let's just go through the most important steps. The first thing is naming it. So I'll say club membership. Right. So we name it, we can add a description, which is optional. The most important part is here, which is the membership terms. So here you select the price. So what you can say is the price is, let's say, $99. And then the billing options are either one time or lifetime and everything else. So you have the option to, let's say, configure this, which is where we set up the recurring payments. So you go here and you say it's recurring. And once you say recurring, the lifetime will change to interval, and where we can define what intervals do we bill the user on. So custom interval is 1 month, but you can actually do it monthly, yearly, weekly, 3 months, 6 months. And in custom, you can say weeks, months, every week, every month. Everything is actually controllable. I'm just going to keep it simple and make sure it's 1 month. Then we can also do a trial period. So you want to give a free trial away or a limited trial, then that's option here as well. And you can say, let's say 14 days. And then you can also charge for the trial. So if you want to charge, let's say $15 for the trial, then you have the trial, 14-day trial for $15. Then every month they'll be charged $99. So that works here. All right. You can also limit payment cycles. So if you want to say, hey, it requires 6 months of payments, then expire the access, or after 4 or 5 payments, it's now lifetime access. So you can configure that here as well. So everything is basically configurable depending on every kind of option you have. So you want to get someone to pay for 6 months and have a free trial, and then let them pay a few $100s a month or whatever. Everything is actually optional, or I'd say you can completely configure everything right here in MemberPress. And it's very simple to do. You also want to check up the membership options here, which is just below the description. And these are basically what's the experience like for somebody actually making a payment. So when somebody makes a payment, what happens, how does the page look, and where do they actually land up after they're making the payment? All these options can be configured. Now I'm going to just show you the options, not configure them, because it's faster. Right. So we have the registration button text, which says sign up. You can customize the label here. Then you have enable custom thank you page message. So if you check this, then you can customize the thank you page message that, hey, thank you for buying registration, some extra URLs, everything. You can do that here. Then you can also send membership specific welcome emails. You can edit that as well to see what the email is like. So if you want to do that, that's also here. You can customize the payment methods and customize user information fields. Now, this is something that you can figure out on your own. Most important part is the payment. Then inside the permissions, we have who can purchase. So if you want only registered users to have access to this, then you can configure that here. In the price box, you basically customize the cosmetics. So how does it look? What's the title? What's the pricing display, heading text, benefits, and all that buttons and jazz here. So basically customizing the page on which the memberships are actually, the billing page basically. And in advanced tab, we also have a URL for membership. So if somebody makes a payment, then what URL do they go to actually access what they just paid for? You can configure that here, and then you can customize or configure some additional settings here. Now all that is good, but what we want to do is test out how the membership looks like. So I'm going to just go ahead here and find the publish button here. I'm going to click publish. So this membership will basically go live. So once this is done, we are technically done because we don't need to do anything else. So I'll go back to memberships here, and we have club membership here. You can see it here, 2 weeks for $15, then $99 a month, the URL. So we can click view and open this up in a new tab, and we'll see the familiar interface. And if you've not seen the previous section, then we had a very similar looking page where we basically tested out the transaction. So what I'm going to do is just once again make a dummy purchase, because this is a test account, so there's no money being spent here. And if I remember correctly, the card number was 424242. This is Stripe's test credit card number. It's not a real credit card number. And you can have any expiry date. So I'm just going to say 0327, and let's say any random number and country India. So basically, I'm adding these details just to demonstrate the experience and how it's going to look like. And you can see all the details here. Pay recurring payments, 2 weeks for $15, which is what we set up as a trial, then $99 per month, and then have a coupon code. So basically, MemberPress supports coupons and everything else. As I said, a lot of different options. I'm just demonstrating the recurring payments here. So once this is done, information filled, click sign up, and the transaction should go through if everything is set up correctly. It's a test account, so something might go wrong, right? So you can see here, card was declined, your request is made in live mode, but known as a test card. So what I'll do is go back to my site for a second and figure out where the live test option is and turn it to test mode. And I'm going to show you how it works as well. So going back to the payment methods, this is where we can enable the test mode. I think I missed it on the first time. I'll click test mode, upgrade options, and go back to the payment page and just try to submit my request. So set the payment mode to test now and open the page again. Let's fill the information once again and try it out. So I've filled the information with some dummy information or dummy data. Let's click sign up and test out if this works now. And fantastic, the test mode works. So now we have actually made the test purchase here. You can see, excuse me, thank you for the purchase, payment successful, payment ID, all that, everything you see here. And of course, you can customize this page just inside the settings, which I was just demonstrating. So that's how you set up and collect recurring payments with MemberPress in WordPress. If you want to do an online club or say online courses, then MemberPress is one of the best solutions out there. Let's also talk about the next option to collect recurring payments in WordPress. So let's talk about the third method to collect recurring payments in WordPress. And this method is suited for small businesses who already have a website, everything set up, and they just want to add some payment options to their site. Now, this method does support single payments as well as recurring payments, so you can use this however you like. And the method I'm going to be using is using a form plugin, which is called WPForms. So let me show you on my screen how this is going to set up. So as I mentioned that we'll be using WPForms. This is a fantastic plugin. It's the best drag and drop form builder for WordPress, and it's used by almost 6 million websites. Now, do keep in mind that if you want to collect recurring payments, you'll need to have the pro version of WPForms. For single payments, the basic free version will also suffice. Now, I already have the purchase plugin, the zip file on my computer, including the license key. So I'm just going to go ahead and start installing. But if you want to follow along or use WPForms, you'll have to make a purchase, download the plugin and the plugin zip file, and also you'll find the license key inside your dashboard, using which we'll activate the plugin. So coming back to my website here, and once again, I've disabled the previously installed plugins, and it's basically a blank website for now, nothing special added. So what I'm going to do is just go to the plugin section here and click on add new plugin here. And in the next section, I'm going to just select the upload plugin button here. And I'm just going to drag and drop the WPForms zip file here. And now you can see we'll install the plugin. It'll take a second, so just wait for it. Let's also activate the plugin. So the plugin is installed now, but we need to activate the pro license using our license key. So I'll just click this link here, or we can also head to the WPForms section and inside settings, I'll just click this button here, which will take us directly to the settings of WPForms. So here I'll just click and paste my license key and click verify. So now WPForms is installed and activated with the license key. So now what we have to do is set up Stripe and configure a few settings. So first, what I'll do is head to the add-ons section here. And add-ons are basically plugins for WPForms, which allow you to add more functionality to a Forms plugin. And the first plugin add-on that you see here, Stripe Pro, is the one that we'll be using. So you'll see it right here. If you use the Pro version, just click Install Add-on. By Pro version, I mean WPForms the Pro version. Just click Install Add-on, and this will take a few seconds to install on our site. And now Stripe Pro, the plugin for WPForms, is now active. We'll head back to the settings of WPForms here. And going back to the settings, we'll have to connect with our account to Stripe once again to use and collect payments with Stripe. So inside here, go to the payments option, which is here. And inside the payments option, you'll see you'll have to connect with Stripe here. So once again, connection status, connect with Stripe, very familiar process. If you've seen the previous section of the video, you know what to do. We'll click the button and we'll start the setup process. Now, once again, my Stripe account is not a pro account. It's just a test account. So I'll just quickly connect and move through the next steps and kind of skip the process of actually entering my bank information because it's just a test account. But you can go through the process, select your bank account and enter all the details for you to add and connect your Stripe account. So I can see here that select an account for payouts and this doesn't work, or at least I don't want to use this and it's a test account. So I'll just head back here and go back to my site and just use the test mode here. And now you can see that my account on WPForms is now connected with Stripe. And I'll also turn on test mode. That means the transactions are not live. If you're testing this out, enable this. Once you're happy that everything works, then disable this so that you can actually collect payments, right? So account reconnection might be requested. That's okay. We'll just use it. We'll save our settings. And since I turned on test mode, I might need to reconnect my account for test mode. So I'll just do that once again. And since this is a test account, I can skip this form and the process will finish. All right, so I'm now connected to Stripe with my test account and everything works perfectly. So we have connected Stripe, we've connected WPForms, everything works together. Now we just have to start creating a form which will include payment options. So we'll go to the Forms menu, and inside WPForms, we have an option called Add New, which just means add a new form. So I'll go here, which will start the form creation process. The first thing we can do here inside the form creation process is name our forms. So I'll just name this payment, and this is just only visible to you, so you can name it anything you like. Then we have thousands of templates predefined, created in WPForms already. So you don't have to start from scratch. So what I'm going to do is just head over here and find a billing related form. So you can have billing forms, PayPal billing, invoice, a lot of different billing forms. I'm just going to choose this one, and this will just save us time. So we'll use this template and the form builder will start. There are a few things we need to configure in the form builder so that we have or bill our people accurately. So on the payment page itself, you see all the details are already filled in. So you have capturing name, email address, phone number, and you have some available items and total amount. So the first thing you want to configure is, hey, what am I charging, right? So first you have to decide, what are you selling? And in this case, what we'll do to set this up is use the payment fields here. So basically WPForms works like a drag and drop form builder. So we don't want to add standard fields right now. We don't want to add fancy fields right now. We just want to add payment fields. So what are payment fields? So payment fields basically define that, hey, what are you selling? So if it's just a single item, you'll use the single item option. If you're selling multiple options with, let's say, upsells. So let's say you're selling an ebook and then you say, hey, why not just bundle the physical copy with it? So then you can add more things. And if you have options that, hey, plan 1, plan 2, plan 3, then you can use radio buttons here, multiple items, and then a lot of different options. Basically, the idea is whatever you're selling, configure it correctly using the payment fields. So what I'm going to do is head over to the available items here. First, delete this block. I'm going to delete this completely. And I'm going to add the single item block here first. So I'll drag the single item block here. And now we can just add a single item that we are selling. So by clicking the single item here, you'll see the things on the left changes. So here, single item can be changed with the product. So we'll just name it product, just as a label. And then we also have an item price. So item price is, of course, what price you want to sell it at. So let's say we sell it at 29. So we can see the price reflect here. Then you have single item, user-defined item, hidden items, all the configuration steps. You can also enable the quantities, defend all the products. If you're selling products, this is useful. Subscriptions might not be useful, but yes, we'll just configure this way. So that's the first step. Now, if you want to change this to the similar options to the checkbox, all you have to do is delete this and just go back to add fields and just choose, let's say, multiple items or checkbox. So if I drag the checkbox here, we'll see a few different options. In this case, we can configure all of these options, what price they are. So first item is $10, second item is $25, third item is $50. And then we can show the price as well, use image choices, icon choices, all that good stuff. So I'm going to leave this for now. So just to give an example of how payment plans work. So let's say we are happy with our form at the moment. We need to configure a couple of things and verify a couple of things to make sure our form works perfectly. So first thing we'll do is go to the settings option inside the general options. Inside the general options, if you scroll down, we'll have an advanced mode and just make sure that the enable Ajax form submission is turned on. This provides a better experience for the user. And once this is done, we'll head to the payment section here. And inside the payment options, we just need to configure for this particular form, what are we trying to bill for? Single, multiple, recurring, everything. So go to Stripe here because that's what we have enabled here. So the message on screen says to use Stripe, first add the Stripe payment field to your form. I think I missed that. So let's go back to the form here and we'll use the Stripe payment option and we'll just add it here. And we'll just add the Stripe credit card here. And now the Stripe credit card option is available here. So basically this is what defines the price and this is where people can enter their credit card information. Heading back to payments here, now we have all the options available. So if it's a single one-time payment, we'll enable this option and then we can configure it. For this particular video, I'm going to demonstrate recurring subscription payments, right? So I'll enable the second checkbox. And here, basically, you don't have to change a lot of things. Basically, just name the plan. So that's easy for you to remember and also the customers to remember. So let's say I'm trying to sell a book club. Okay, let's say something like that, local website. So the name of the plan is set up. Now we have to decide on the subscription timing. So if it's a monthly subscription, just make it weekly or monthly, whatever you like. And then monthly, or this plan will be billed monthly to the client. Then you have the customer email. Just have to select email because the email field is already configured in the form itself, similar to name and the address. So basically, the idea is that email, name, and address are already being collected in the form, and we don't have to send that information to Stripe in the Stripe form. Just have to map that data correctly. And then if you're an advanced user and you want to customize or create multiple types of forms, so you have the option of using conditional logic as well. So you want to say, hey, let's say, for example, on the form itself, you're asking users a series of questions and recommending them that they should go for subscription or a single item billing. Then you can add a specific field there and use the conditional logic to say, hey, if this field selected by the user is this, then make sure this billing is subscription, otherwise make it single. So conditional logics makes it very easy for you to set up complex logic in forms and simplifying the process for you so that you can create the forms one time and users can make sure that they're getting whatever they want. So I'm going to delete it for now, but the idea is it is possible for you to do that. So once this is done, we'll go back to the fields section, and inside the fields, we have everything done. We have the payments, everything set up, checkbox, total amount, and credit card information. So everything is set up for us. We just click save. And by doing this, now the form is saved. But how do we see the form and how do we add it to our website? Well, for that, we need to embed it to a form. There are a few different ways to do so. I'm going to demonstrate all of them quickly. For that, we need to click the embed button. And inside the embed button, you'll have select existing page or create a new page. Now, if you have already a page on your site which you want to add, just select an existing page. This is a blank website, so I'm just create a new page. I'm just call it payment. So this will create a brand new page on the site, which will allow us to edit or use the form. Now, the form is already added, but let's say if you already had a page on your site and you just wanted to add the form, let me demonstrate how that's done too. I'm just going to delete this form right here. And let's pretend that this is a completely built out page and just adding the payment information. So this can have everything, images, text, all the good stuff that WordPress supports, and just we want to add the form. So we use the block builder in WordPress to add a new block by clicking this blue button here. And we'll search for the WPForms block, and WPForms block is here. We'll click on it, and then we'll have the option to select the form. So if you have multiple forms on a site, you can select the one. Since I just clicked or selected the one, I'll just select payment options. By the way, you can completely customize the look of your form using the cosmetics here. So themes and field styles, you have a lot of different options to customize. Just give you a demonstration. If I change this, now we have a brand new looking form. So that's also possible. And this makes your website cool. And what you can do is match your form styling to your actual website. So that's also pretty cool. So once this is done, once you're happy with how it looks like, what I'm going to do is just publish the page, and it's published. And then we can see the page and see how the payment forms look like. So I'll just open it up in a new tab. And this is a payment page, all done. So it's ready already. So what I'll do is just fill in some dummy data and let's test it out because it's in test mode. Nothing, no harm done, right? So I'll quickly fill this up and we'll see if the transaction goes through. So fill the form with some dummy information, and we have the address, dummy address, some PIN code, and all details. Now it's time to use the payment information. So I'll do and show you the total amount. And you see, if I add this amount, the amount changes. If I add this, it changes. So this is the benefit of using WPForms. You can actually customize the form in this way as well. So let's say if I'm buying the third item for $50, now I'll just do dummy email address. I'll do dummy@dummy.com. And I'll just use the dummy credit card address from Stripe. It's 424242. Oops, let me just correct it. All right, and then anything should work here. So let's do 90 or 27. Right, and now we have basically entered the information, or at least I have with dummy information. So all we have to do is click submit, and let's go. Oh, email. Oh, email is required here as well. So let's fill the email, and let's also fill. Oops, let me just quickly fill this up, and we'll just do. Okay. All right. So now everything is done. Let's try again. And this also required. So let's say hello. Oops. And now it should work. Let's click submit. And now it's done. So this is also a perfectly working form. By the way, if you want to customize what happens after people submit the form, let me also show you that. So by going into our website here, I'll just close these. And what I'm going to do is go back to WPForms here. So WPForms, I'm going to go to all forms, which is the place where you can find our form. Let's close this. And I'm going to edit the field here. So once the form builder is open, we can go into settings, and there are two things you might need to keep in mind to configure how users are notified and what users see on screen. The feature is called notifications and confirmations. So notifications is what the users get on emails, and also you as an administrator. So you can completely customize what kind of forms, emails you get. So if somebody makes a payment, you can get an email, and you can also send a user or email to the user as well. And on confirmations, you can set up what kind of messaging users see. So you can redirect them to a thank you page, redirecting them to a specific page or a Calendly page if you're selling something else. And you can also show them a message and something else. So what we saw here, basically, thanks for your order, we'll be in touch, is the default action, is a message that people see. So that's what you saw. So basically, you have the option of customizing all these features as well with WPForms. So that's how easy it is to select or collect one-time payments and recurring payments with WPForms. Let's talk about the last method to collect recurring payments in WordPress. So let's talk about the fourth method to add or collect recurring payments in WordPress. And this one specifically is for online or online shopping, basically. That means e-commerce. So if you're selling kind of subscription boxes, let's say a monthly book club or monthly goodies or monthly snacks, a lot of recurring, let's say gift boxes also work. So in that case, this is the best solution for you. So on my website right now, I just have WooCommerce installed. I'm going to demonstrate the entire process to you. It's just a blank install of WooCommerce. Nothing is set up. So we'll need two different plugins to make this work. One is for collecting payments, which will be Stripe, or the payment provider will be Stripe, but we'll use a plugin to connect. And then we'll use a subscription-based billing plugin as well. So let me demonstrate both of these. Now, by the way, WooCommerce does have its own payment solution. So if I go into WooCommerce and if I go to the settings here, in the payments option, we can use WooCommerce native payment solution, which is, I believe, called WooPay. Yeah, WooPayment, sorry. So we can install this as well. But in my testing, the test mode for this doesn't work as well. So if you're just testing it out, you want to test it out, then I would recommend the solution I'm recommending right now. The plugin that we'll be installing for that is Stripe's own plugin. So we'll go to plugins here, and I'll just go to add new plugin. We're going to search for WooCommerce Stripe Payment Gateway. It's a plugin made by Stripe. So I'll just search for it. You can see WooCommerce Stripe Payment Gateway. And that's the plugin we'll install and configure with test mode so that we can check it out. And this is the plugin. You can see it's by Stripe. So I'll click install now. Let's also activate the plugin. So the plugin is now installed. So what we'll do is now head to WooCommerce and we'll head to settings once again. And inside the settings, we'll go to the payments option, and now we should see Stripe, because by default, without WooPayments, Stripe is not supported natively, at least without the WooPayments plugin. So now you can see Stripe is here. I'm going to move it up because I'm primarily going to use this one, and we'll just move it and we'll enable this, right? So Stripe payments will be enabled, and then we'll go through the same process of connecting with a Stripe account and basically just connecting with basically Stripe. And in this case, I'm mentioning that I have a test Stripe account. So I have two options here. I can create or connect an account, or create or connect with a test account. Now, since my Stripe account is just in a test mode, I'm going to use this option. When you're setting up for the first time, just testing things out, you can use this option. When you're ready to go live, use this option. Maybe just reset your settings. I'm going to show you how. So I'm going to click this button called create or connect with a test account. And let's continue the process. And once again, we have this. And since I'm just testing this out, it's a test account. I'm going to skip this form, which will just take me back to my site, and we'll still connect the Stripe payment gateway. So we'll finish that up in a second and head back to our site. And now you can see Stripe is now connected. We are seeing some settings here. So we can see Stripe is enabled, test mode is enabled. We have some options here. We can do payments disabled, everything is disabled. So what we can do is we can also configure the connection and create a test account and connect a test account. So basically everything will work. So let me finish this up for a second, and I'm going to show you how it works. So now you can see that Stripe has now been enabled. And of course you can see enable Stripe, which is checked. Test mode is also checked. And then the account status, you can see it's in test mode. Payments and payouts are disabled for now, but this is just for testing. So we have some other options. You can check them out. All this is basically the default settings should be good enough. And now what we can also do is go head back into payments, our payment methods here. And here we'll see that we have options, what payment modes or payment, I'd say, gateways or cards are supported. So we can see by default we have credit cards and debit cards supported, but we also have Alipay, Klarna, and all these different payment options. And you also have Express Checkout with Apple Pay, Google Pay, and Link, which is Stripe's own product. So if you enable or customize any of these options, then you can do this here. And once you're happy, make sure to save your settings. I'm going to click on the payments mode once again so that we can come back to the payments mode. Now we see Stripe is enabled. I'm just going to move it here and done. And we're going to save our settings once again so that the order is also saved. Now, this is done, but still it does not give you subscription-based billing options on products. So how do we fix that? Well, the second plugin that we're going to use helps with that. So I'm going to do is go back to plugins here and just go to add new plugin once again. And this time the plugin we're going to use and search for is called YITH WooCommerce subscription. Now, just to clarify, WooCommerce has its own solution for this, well, WooCommerce subscription billing, but it's $200 a year. So it doesn't have a free version to test out. So you have to pay the money. And this plugin, which I'm going to talk about here, which is this plugin, also has a premium plan. This is the free version. The free version is basically free, but the premium version is, again, I think at the date of this recording, I think if I'm right, $199 a year. So if you want to use any of these plugins, it's up to you. Since this is a free version, I'm just testing it out and showing you how to use this as well. So let's install this plugin here and also activate the plugin. And now we have both the plugins installed. So Stripe Payment Gateway and also subscriptions. But how do we actually create a subscription? So for the subscriptions, we'll go into the products because products will be connected with subscriptions directly. So if I go here in products, we can go to add a new product. Inside the product section, we can basically create products. So I'm just going to name this, let's say, the book club. As you can probably see, I love books. So book club, right? And then we have the product description, the images, all that good stuff that you can do with WordPress. But we're concerned with mostly how to set up subscriptions. So we'll scroll down here. And inside the product data, make sure to pay attention here. So we have simple product. We usually have virtual and downloadable. But now we have the third option here, which is called subscription. So if I click subscription, you'll see subscription settings opening up here. So this way we configure how it's subscribed or how it works. Basically, first we have to enter a price. So let's say we have a price of $49. And then in the subscription settings, we can define how frequently is the subscription going to be billed. So if I say 1 and configure month, that means the customer will be charged $49 every single month. And then we can configure some other settings. Subscription ends, never. If you were lifetime, great. Otherwise, you can say, hey, after a year. So 12 months, subscription will end. Maybe based on regulation, you might need to do this, but this is an option. You can also apply limits. So a person can only buy one subscription at a time if that's something you want to do. Otherwise, you can freely allow people to subscribe as many times concurrently at the same time. So I'm going to disable this, and I'm also going to just click never here. The rest is up to you. You can configure the inventory if you want to sell X number of products, shipping and all that. We've done a complete WooCommerce guide, so I'll just link it here in the iBox somewhere so that you can go and check it out and see how to configure WooCommerce. I've covered everything in it, even including a lot of taxes. So now that we have a product setup, we'll just publish the page. And once this is done, I'm going to show you how the form looks like and how the subscription works. So this product is now live. Let's click on it, open it up in a new tab. And now we can see Book Club, $49 a month, and you can pay with link and click subscribe. It'll add to your cart, go check out, make payment. Now this is since it's WooCommerce, sometimes the test payments don't work as well. I tested it out a couple of times, so might not be able to show you the actual payment experience, but it works as well. So once you subscribe, everything looks great. So basically it's WooCommerce, but with subscription billing. So nothing changes, but that's how easy it is. In a few minutes of time, you can actually configure WooCommerce with subscription billing. Hope you liked this video. I hope you found the answer to the solution or answer the problem you're looking for. And hopefully just subscribe to this channel as well for more continued WordPress education and getting questions or answers to your question. You're watching Rush from WBeginner. I'll catch you in the next video. Make sure to check out this video for WooCommerce so that you can learn about WooCommerce if you're trying this out. And I'll see you in the next video. Take care.